Today I want to talk about loneliness and the feeling of isolation that a lot of people in the LGBT community experience, but specifically I want to talk about my experience, um, I guess being trans and loneliness because it's a very unique thing to be trans, and it can be very isolating. It is very isolating. When I was in school, I went to an all-girls school, and I had a okay time, I think. I mean, I made a fair few friends, but I mean, I always felt kind of strange in myself, especially through puberty. I felt very uncomfortable with myself, and when you feel uncomfortable with yourself, people definitely pick up on that. But you know, a lot of people feel uncomfortable with themselves when they're at that age, and a lot of people are going through very difficult times anyway. So I did have, people I could talk to and stuff, although not about the trans stuff because I didn't tell anyone about that for years. It was really when I went to uni or started doing my undergrad that I struggled a lot because I think, I had come out as bisexual, and that was fine. I didn't have a difficult time with that really, but I was still struggling with my gender identity, and when I went to uni, it was I just didn't really want to think about it too much, and I just wanted to kind of like go out a lot and drink a lot and you know experience university, which is fine, a lot of people do. But I struggled a lot with making friends, and I think it was because I had no idea what, how I wanted to present myself, I suppose. And I was just dressing kind of girly sometimes and sometimes not. And I was pretty comfortable with my sexuality. Like, I was fine telling people, and I made friends who were queer. Not many, but people were fine with it. I mean, I went to uni in like London, so there were a lot of gay people. But I think I just felt really isolated, maybe in my end of first year to second year, and I think part of that was because it was a London university, and people are already spread out when they live in London, and it's just tough to make friends because it's hard to like see people in general. But also I just had no confidence. I mean, I really didn't have any confidence in myself or who I was, and I would just, I couldn't socialize very well, like without drinking, and I think part of that is because I just felt uncomfortable in my own skin, and when you feel uncomfortable in your own skin every day, you're thinking about I don't know, it's hard to relate to other people, and it's really hard to have conversations with other people without feeling distracted about yourself and about how you feel every day. And another thing is I gained weight during uni, which is pretty common as well. And I was really skinny before, like I was underweight. So I gained some weight, and that just made my dysphoria so much worse. And I remember the end of my first year, my dysphoria was so bad, and it come back, in like a huge wave. And that made me feel like shit as well. So I had a hard time. I had a really hard time in my undergrad, and since then it's still been hard. I've had to kind of figure out how to make friends again, and it's hard as an adult, and no one really tells you how hard it is. But one thing that I have found helps is just being, as true to myself as I can be, because there were times when I was pretending to be more feminine, I suppose, and pretending that I liked certain things just because I wanted to be friends with a group of people or something. And people don't like being around people who are inauthentic. I certainly don't. And so that, it comes off if you're being inauthentic with people. One thing that has been really great and I'm very grateful for is the LGBT community, because that is like a set community that exists in the world. One thing that has really changed in the past couple months is that I feel a lot better just being on my own with myself. I think that's a really good sign, because if you can be alone, completely with yourself and be okay, and feel okay and just chill and like do your own thing and be okay with your own thoughts, I mean, that is, for me, that's the key to kind of happiness, because you don't rely on any external thing to make sure that you're happy, and for so long I just needed to be distracted by something, whether it was just like putting on music or podcasts in the morning so that I don't have to like listen to my thoughts, or like getting drunk with someone, or just like watching hours of TV. Like, that's depression, because you can't be with your own thoughts because they're too sad or stressful or whatever. And the fact that I've managed to get to a place where I'm a lot better with myself, I don't feel like I'm alone. I don't feel lonely when I'm alone as much anymore, which is really amazing. And I really hope that